Hiya crafters, Amy here with another Back to Basics, and this is about making your own envelopes with a punch board. Now I was asked to make this video regarding how to make envelopes, so I'm going to show you the way that I do it. On this punch board you can make envelopes, bows, or even boxes. And it's got a chart on the inside here which details all the measurements that you need for pretty much any size envelope you can imagine. So this is really handy for custom size, or if you run out of envelopes and you need one in a hurry. So this paper I cut down to 8 1/4 inches square, and according to the chart I'm going to score it at 3 5/8 inches. This is to make an A2 size card, so 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. You can see I'm going to fold out this arm, and you can see it's got 2 grooves on the right and 1 off to the left, and those line up with the openings right on that round punching button on the top. So I'm going to push the punch button, and that's going to create a groove on my paper, and then I'm going to carefully use my scoring tool that comes with it to go along that groove on the left and then the groove on the right. You use the first groove. The second one is if you were to create like a box, or if you needed kind of a thicker sort of envelope, I think is what that second groove is for. Now typically what I'll do is just use that groove on the left and then line it up and then do the same thing on the right and punch. This is one option that you can do it, but I did show you a different way on the next envelope. Now this is a good way to use up some of your pattern paper, especially the type that has white on one side and the pattern on the inside, because then you could basically kind of create a faux lined envelope and use up some of that paper that you've been hoarding. So I was really happy when I realized I had paper that would work perfect for it. Now this is relatively lightweight, which I do find works well for envelopes, but you want to be really careful with that scoring tool, not to really dig that point in there and not to push too hard, because you'll kind of tear right through the paper. So it takes a little bit of trial and error, just kind of if you have one of these machines, then just kind of be a little gentle when you're doing your scoring, not to cut your paper. But I did do it pattern side down rather, so that I could fold it with the pattern on the inside. And then the white on the outside. If you wanted to use a double-sided pattern paper, that would be okay too. You might just want to add, you know, like a little white square or rectangle where you want to write your recipient's address to make it more visible for the post office. But here I'm just using my regular bone folder and just following those grooves that I created with the scoring. And then I'm going to round the edges, which is another feature of this board. On the left of the punch, it actually is a corner chomper, and then on the other side it does like a kind of like a hook groove cut, and you use that for boxes. So here you can see I'm just using some 1/4 inch score tape, and I'm going to put just right along the edge of the 2 side flaps, and that's how you're going to attach the bottom piece to those flaps. Now I'm also putting it on the top of the envelope, and that's the backer that I'm going to leave on there until I'm ready to seal the envelope. So very easy, comes together quickly, and you can see it perfectly fits in a A2 size card. So this is an option for this size. Now the next card I'm going to make for 5 by 7. So I'm going to cut a square that's 9 7/8 inches, and then I'm going to score it at 4 1/8 inch. So you can see the different way that I'm going to do it. I'm still doing face down with the pattern paper because I want the pattern to be on the inside and the white on the outside. And I'm just lining up with 4 1/8 inch and getting my little scoring tool back out. And then I'm carefully scoring this and those 2 openings here. Now you can see I flipped it 180 degrees. The reason I did that is because then you can use that same 4 1/8 inch measurement again, rather than having to line up the grooves. You do still need to go back and put a punch on all 4 sides, but that's just another way that you can use this, and honestly probably the correct way to do it. But either way will work. It's pretty clear how to line up the grooves so that you know you're at the right measurement. Now here I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of fold along the score marks that I made and use my bone folder to reinforce the fold. And then I'm going to put the score tape in the same exact spot and round the edges just like I did on the other one. So this video obviously is nothing new. There's Other ways you can make envelopes manually. This is just the way that I do it since I have this nice tool. Once I started card making and I discovered this tool, I bought one right away. So it's definitely a nice tool to have in your stash if you need to make a specialty sort of envelope, or if you just enjoy making all your envelopes. So I hope you find this helpful. If you do, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I do have other back to basics type of videos for beginners just starting out in card making, and I will link those in the video description box below, as well as any of the other products that I've used today. I will link those as well if you want to check any of that out. So I hope you find this helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.